Welcome back, Nerdiverse, for another exciting episode of the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. I'm, of course, Master of the Nerdiverse, Mike G. And with me, as always, is Master of the Nerdiverse, the Jedi Counselor himself. He owns like 17,000 lightsabers. The man we simply call Wash. What's going on, sir?
What is up? I do not own a lightsaber. It is on the to-do list this year. And actually, I kind of want one of the real ones, the ones that, the YouTube dudes who make all like the cool gear. You seen that? They make like Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Mm, go on.
No worries. Yeah, like the dudes who like actually make it out of metal and shut. You know what I mean? Like the lightsaber hilts that are like screen accurate. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking like the dudes who like make like the authentic they go to the lab and they put together like Captain America's shield or whatnot. Yeah, they made like a lightsaber. You don't know these dudes?
They made
Dude,
like a real functioning lightsaber.
yes. Like they make
Ooh.
all types of stuff from geek and lore. I'll send you the link. I can't
Oh
remember
no,
the
yeah.
name.
I think they're
Yeah,
called
you
like Hero Reforged or something like
it's
that,
something
right?
like that. I can't remember the
Yeah,
name, but it's pretty dope, man. And it's like,
yeah.
I want one of the real ones, man. Just to have, just
Bro,
to have.
random question. Out of all the lightsaber hilts in the Star Wars mythos, who you going with as your one and only?
God, I'm really kind of a Kenobi guy. I kind of like the simplicity of Kenobi's saber. Yeah, I do. So I don't have a deep lore, but I would not mind being a Grievous type that had multiple
Welcome to my
saber
collection.
saber actions cruising around, man. Absolutely.
Remember, one of my favorite memes is of that scene in the last Sky or the last Skywalker, whatever that was called, where Kylo Ren throws his lightsaber in the ocean, and all you hear is wheezing, and General Grievous runs behind him and jumps into the ocean to get the lightsaber.
I
He's like,
didn't see that, but that's hilarious.
he goes, hawk punch! He's wheezing, and he just jumps like he does a Scrooge McDuck into the ocean after the lightsaber. That shit is
Oh, I'm gonna have to
hilarious, but
find that. No, I've
yeah,
never
that's
seen that.
man, we are here for another episode of Masters of the Nerdiverse, my good sir. And before we get started, this is a live episode on Twitch. It is a live episode on YouTube. So if you want to stop by, say hi, interact with the chat, just jump in. We won't bite you hard. We may nibble a little bit, but we not gonna bite you hard. Dog. Man, we have a interesting episode for ourselves tonight. Masters of the Nerdiverse, episode 149, Social Engineering Fallout Style. this this one of these articles just has me really bugged out. So,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You see the writing on the wall here, man.
yes.
So, before we get started, I always like to ask Wash, out of these four topics, which are a Fallout Shelter reality show that Amazon is putting together, our first look at Laura Croft, Tomb Raider, um, Deadpool's roles in Marvel Rivals, a first in gaming, which is crazy. And they gave Lee Cronin more money to make another Universal monster, the Mummy trailer. Because this
Was
guy,
is this part of the Universal series? Is that what this is?
I
I
don't
did not know
know.
that.
They won't commit to it though. We'll talk about it, but they won't commit to it. This same director, I think, is the guy who did that whack werewolf movie, the Wolfman, that came out just a couple of years ago, and they just keep giving them money. Um, Wash, out of these four topics, which one are you most interested to dive into the most?
Well, just based on the title, I'm going to go with the Fallout Shelter reality show because I didn't know anything about it. I was like, huh? All right, I guess I don't necessarily like the names attached to it, but whatever it is, what it is. Billion
Yeah,
dollars.
I was just, doing my P's and Q's for the channel, seeing what interesting news. I was like, what the hell is this?
I I would be remiss if I did not notice that there's one piece of news that's not up here. I wonder if it's hidden within the annals of our pages, as sometimes happens. Is there any Kathleen Kennedy news on
Oh,
this agenda?
I left that. But you know what? I left that out, and that's huge news. Because I don't. You know what? We should talk about that. You know what? Let's get into our weeks as we ask, "How was your week?" Wash, how do you feel about Kathleen Kennedy finally, kind of giving up the ghost?
Hanging it up after, I think it's I think 15, 17 years, something like that. I mean, it's a long time for any job. I don't care what you do. So, dealing with us unruly bastards for 17 or 18 years,
It's got to
you
take a
know,
toll, right?
hats off to you, my lady. Like, good job, way to go. You made yourself a couple of $1 billion in there. Was everything a hit? Not necessarily, in my opinion, but um, I guess with her leaving and Mr. David, I'm like, David Anders. Why is that popping in my head? That's like the dude from Alias,
Yeah.
David.
David
For
A.
God's
Dave Filoni.
Filoni, thank you. Anyway, with Dave Filoni and the business person, who I don't know necessarily, um, stepping in and taking over the creative control, I feel as though Star Wars is in good hands. Um, Will it be the same Star Wars that we have come to know these last 2 decades? I don't
I'd
think
hope not.
so. I don't think so. I think that we might get a tad bit weird. I think we might get a tad bit more, even Disney friendly. When I say that, I put the quotation markers up, just meaning more of like the Ahsoka candy. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
how that's produced and how it's made and how it looks, as compared to an Andor or a Last Jedi, which both have a very, I don't want to say sour or dour tone, but they're both very deliberate in their pacing and what they're doing. So,
Do
your
you think
thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's, like, interesting how these things happen, right? You're running one of the biggest ships that you can possibly run in the entertainment industry. There's wins, there's losses, you know what I mean? It's not all perfect. And then here comes this young hotshot wearing a cowboy hat who has crazy ideas for Star Wars, and they work, right? Rebels works, Bad Batch works. Ahsoka has become probably the most popular Star Wars character in the last 20, 30 years outside of damn Darth Maul. You know what I mean? And that's straight up Filoni. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when you can see your position being usurped in real time, you know what I mean? And and all you reading is like death threats and freaking just nastiness. Kathleen Kennedy destroyed um Star Wars. She destroyed my childhood. Do you think she's just about ready to go? Like, you know what, you guys got it? Or do you think there's any hesitation? Like, I still got more in me. There's still more initiatives
Uh,
I want to do. You know?
I would imagine, because she suggested Dave take over. I would imagine that there was a conversation of, like Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh
I was just gonna
Steelers.
say that. Yeah.
That's a very, you know what, you've earned the respect to do what you want. If you want to continue, great. We're going to be asking some things of you. You may not be on board with it, or you can just, do what you like and go about your business. And you know, I 18, 17 years, that's a long time. That's a long time with Star Wars. And w- were we going to get anything else when you say I have something left in me? Was there a direction specifically that we had seen? I mean, we can't even get episode 9 off the ground. And a couple of
Yeah.
different scripts they mentioned, the James Mangold script about
The Ben
the first
Solo.
Jedi, 10,000 years. even these scripts, like she greenlighted them, like, and now as she was walking out the door, she's like, "Yeah, that's probably not going to happen." And it's like, well, was that not going to happen 18 months ago when you said it was going to happen? So I hope that we just get a tad bit more consistent messaging across the board. Who's running Lucasfilm Gaming? That person
Oh,
needs to like be brought out in the sunlight and like, yeah, this is the person responsible for Eclipse.
yeah, we don't know. We're still waiting on that.
You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping that with Dave Filoni, with his background being with George Lucas, lifelong Star Wars, kind of knows what was in Lucas's head. I just kind of hope we get a more consistent message. That being said, it is Star Wars, so no, I doubt we will. I
I
doubt
don't
we will.
I think these regime changes take time. You know what I mean? They take a little bit of time to actually see because there's so much stuff in the pipeline
Hmm.
that Filoni kind of has to wait until it's his turn. Like there's stuff that Kathleen had pushed through that still needs to come out. Starfighter still needs to come out. You know what I mean? Freaking Mandalorian, Mandalorian and Grogu's was right down the pipe. So I don't think we're going to see any new Dave Filoni mandates probably for another couple years. It takes a while, right?
There's there is rumor in the scuttlebutt that that's one of the reasons Ahsoka has not come out. Because Ahsoka, we're like 2 years since season 1, man. Like
Yeah.
it's been a while. Like we should have a season 2 by now, and we don't. And apparently, there's some scuttlebutt saying that yeah, it was in the pipeline. Now Dave has full control over that product project and how that gets to roll out. So it will be very interesting to see if we get any Ahsoka news here in the next
Nah.
Super Bowl. By Super Bowl, all of a sudden an Ahsoka trailer drops or something. I'll be like, oh, there it is.
I
You
wouldn't
know.
be surprised if he scrapped the whole thing and said, let's just add a zero to the end of that budget and start this over.
Well, that's some of the things that's some of the concerns
Yeah.
about Dave Filoni is that, how much money can he handle when we look
Hmm.
at something coming off it and whatever budget they gave that man to make these hour and 9 long minute, horror films that don't necessarily move super fast. It's like, does Dave Filoni know what to do with that money? I'm
Oh,
fairly certain he
I think he'll be
does,
fine.
but
He'll be fine, dude.
you
Like
know,
it's like it's like the Kevin Feige thing, right?
yeah.
You put the spotlight on them, see how they react.
That said, the Russo brothers are coming back.
I don't. It's so interesting the Marvel thing. It's almost like Kevin Feige was in a hyperbolic time chamber for the last 10 years, and they just had to awaken him, like damn, like the Mummy, which we'll talk about. And like those 10 years are just kind of like a blur. Like he wasn't. I think he just burnt out. He must have burnt out and
Probably,
said, "Y'all just
dude.
do what y'all want to do,
That's
man."
a long time.
It's a
That's a
long time.
long time with a
It's the
lot of
and
expectations.
a lot of responsibility and a lot of weight and expectation. And it's the Bob Iger thing, right? Can grandpa go lay down? Because Kathleen Kennedy is somebody's nana at this point, right? Can Nana go lay down? No. We need you to
But
keep pumping out this money. And she's just
my
like, I'm kind of done, Doug.
I am sure you are responsible for quite a bit in your daily life as far as your job goes. Are you responsible for $1 billion profit?
If I was, this podcast would be a not like nicer, Doug.
You know what
The
I mean?
industrial lights and magic and shit. Yeah. Elephants in the back.
Like, uh,
Hell no.
yeah, I haven't slept in a while, man.
That's why I wear these
So,
glasses, just bags and bags and bags under my eyes. Don't see them, Doug. But yeah, it's I think it's a step in the right direction. I think fresh faces
yeah,
with things that are eternal. Star Wars is eternal. Marvel is becoming eternal. Disney is eternal. I think that these reinvigorations of fresh blood are necessary to keep the tree from dying. You know what I'm saying? So the time of Kathleen Kennedy is over. The time of Dave Filoni is now. And he'll
yeah.
have his run. And then sometime in the future, some other young hot shot with fresh ideas and a plucky attitude will dethrone him. It's just the natural order of things. So
We're
I'm down with
remaking
it.
episode 4 with Daffy Duck.
With Dwayne the Rock Johnson Jr. as
Like,
Luke Skywalker.
oh, okay. So yes, that was part of the week. Is that news? A couple other things that happened in the week. A big
Yeah.
gaming week. First, I jumped into a game that we had spoken about, but I don't believe you've played, and it it should have got more fanfare. That's the
Okay.
fifth time I'm using that word today. So,
Hmm.
Avowed. Did you
Oh,
get
you
into
actually
Avowed?
played? I never
Yeah,
got into
man.
Avowed. It was right there. It's right. You know
Dude,
what's funny? It was Avowed or Outlaws. Th-
Outlaws. Okay.
That's what happened.
Well, I finished GTA 5, so I had some room in the gaming Twitch channel to put in a
Mhm.
new game, and so I decided your stellar reviews of Outer World 2 didn't blow me away. I considered it, but I wasn't blown away. And you're like, I'm 10 hours in, and I'm like, well, I just left 10 hours of meh with the first Outer Worlds. You know what I mean? So let me try this other Obsidian game. And dude,
Yeah.
this thing is pretty slick. I'm not
Mm.
sure. I can see. I think I understand why people didn't like it. I'm about 2 hours in, give or take. But the controls, it is it is Obsidian, it is Oblivion, it
Uh.
is Dragon Age, and it is wait for it. There's one other thing. It is Oblivion, Outer Worlds. So it
It
has like
sounds
the
stiff.
it has the no. You pick up the controls and it's like you're home. Like as soon
Oh,
as you
okay.
are in the game and you start moving, you're like, this is pretty tight. And then you have your first conversation like you have, and you're like, wait, this is first, and then you look in your menu and you're like, wait, what is happening right now? Why didn't anyone talk about this game? So I get to probably, I guess, the first main, and it's it's like a 2, 3, I don't know how many players are gonna be in a group, but let's say it's a three-person group where, the other 2 are doing action. I don't know what they call
Mhm.
that. It's
They're
like over
just
the top. But
yeah.
what caught me is normally those your other 2 guys are throwing bombs or doing whatever. They're in the way, right?
Mhm.
Well, I'm over here and I'm trying to attack the guy, and my NPC comes over to the other side and like draws his attention. So he stops attacking me, turns around to attack him so I can hit him in the back, and then he turns around to attack me, and my NPC goes ahead and attacks him. Supernatural, super fluid, didn't have to control anything. Mike G, jump into this game, bro. I think that you are going to jump in and you are going to be like, well, this is interesting. This
Two
is
que
interesting. Hmm.
two things. First, Bradley, what's going on, sir? Bradley's in the house. He's chilling like a villain. Uh, we just talked about Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars and all that fun stuff. That's all that's happened so far. Um, and talking about Avowed right now. We're talking about Evowed. First question: is this free on Game Pass?
Free on Game Pass.
That's easy peasy. I could download it tonight.
Free on Game
Um,
Pass.
Now I've seen this game played, and it's
Hmm.
very colorful. It's very bright. It reminds me. It's very piratey, if I remember. Like R, you know. Um, I like, and in these types of games, I like when the gameplay is manic a little bit. Like anything, like you feel like anything can happen. It doesn't feel scripted. You know what I mean? You're not Nathan Drake going down a pipe and you're experiencing a cinematic. You know what I mean? Like anything can
That's
happen type
yeah,
feel.
that's what I was saying with the group fight. Like that was
Hmm.
completely intuitive. And when you're talking about just options, so you have two loadouts, let's say sword and shield, you press Y, it's a completely separate loadout of your bow. Apparently there's guns because people started shooting at me. It looks like the problem with the game is going to come in with there were a lot. of ideas thrown in. There's a lot thrown in, but it looks like it was done really well. I just don't know
Hmm.
if the story's going to be super cohesive in nature. That's where it has like the outer worlds type of feel to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, but the world is much, it's as like you know how Outer Worlds, the first one, it's a large land, nothing going on. This is
Yeah.
like the opposite. It's a
Okay.
large land with stuff going on. But yeah, man, I highly suggest give yourself a couple hours with this thing. I
I don't
think as
mind it.
soon as you get on the controls, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, this is more responsive than what I thought it would be, and that in itself will keep you kind of hooked for a minute.
I know the game is first person, and I know it's swashbuckly. Is it? What's the ratio between projectile attacks and
Your,
melee
your
attacks?
choice, man.
Is it 60-40? Does it? But sometimes the game will make you feel like it's pointing you in a direction. Kind of like, all Bethesda games, they want you to shoot, but you can melee, but the melee doesn't really feel that good. You know what I'm saying?
You know the tree, the
Skill tree
God,
kind of thing.
there's a skill tree. I'm trying to think which game it is where you have like a rage power, and then there's a stealth
Oh, like
power over in this
Borderlands.
corner. And
It has the different levels of trees, and you can just choose a tree path. It just if
I,
that's how you want to play.
if you were disappointed after, let's say you get 5, 6 hours in, I can't speak for that, right? I can only speak for what I've played, which is about 2 hours, and say, man, I remember the game coming out, and I meant to take a look to see what came out around the same time because I'm wondering if it just got overshadowed by, let's say, Outlaws came out at the same time or whatever the case was. But I think that there are a couple of games. There's this game, there's Adam that I don't know if you played or not. I told you about that. You
Mhm.
got Fallout 76. There's a couple of these RPG type games that have just gone unnoticed but are super super good and deep games. So um I put Outer Worlds in that category to a lesser degree just
Mhm.
because of, you know, it's kind of weird and stupid, and
Mhm.
it's
It's goofy. It's goofy in
it's
its
goofy,
approach.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you want?
You're
You
not
know?
taking anything too
Nah,
seriously
it's
when you're
not. It's
playing
not.
Outer
It's not life
Worlds.
or death
So
in that game at all. You
yeah,
know.
but it's Obsidian, man. It's Obsidian. It's Obsidian, so I dig it. I think you'll dig it. I hope you
Bet
dig it.
I'll check it out. Outer Worlds 2 is definitely not part of my week because I haven't since I put it down. I haven't really picked it back up. So if this will be something I'll try out this weekend.
I thought about it. I'm like, Outer Worlds 2. I'm like, Mike did not sell me on that. So, the other thing I did lastly is going to be watch the first two episodes of Splinter Cell Netflix, which does a
Okay, is that the animated one?
yes,
Okay.
violent, bloody, violent and bloody. There's more
Hmm.
violence and blood than there are words.
Viscera and liquids, dog. Let's go.
Um, I would say the first two episodes are pretty damn good compared to how I felt compared to like Tomb Raider's first two episodes. This it's slow and deliberate, but it's slow and deliberate in the spy type of sense. It's
That's a good
building
slow and
that,
deliberate. That's a
yeah, it's
good slow.
building that whole thing that's going on. And Sam Fisher is an old man Sam Fisher just trying to read his book and be left alone. And
I'm too
then,
damn old for this.
yeah, dude, he has to wreck some shop.
He's
So
just too damn old, dog.
I oh, Splinter Cell, you liked it, Bradley? Awesome. Good to hear. I will be probably I would not be surprised if I wrap that thing up by Tuesday. It kind of goes quick, even though
Yeah.
there's not a lot of words happening on screen.
Are you a Splinter Cell head? Did you play a lot of that growing up on
I
the
played
Xbox,
the
Xbox
first
360?
3 Splinter Cells. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. And
that's
then I
curious.
fell off.
Because I thought you didn't like stealthy,
I
making me sneak
didn't.
around.
I used to, and then I didn't. I fell off in the
Got
later
you, got
years,
you,
right
got you.
right after Metal Gear Solid and that era. I started to get out of those slow ass stealthy games because it's like I don't have time, which is why I haven't played any Outlaws. It's like, Brian, you played Outlaws? It's like, nah, bro, I can't no life it anymore. That time is
I got
done.
things to
Like,
do, dog. You know what I'm saying? What you want?
like,
What do
you
you
know.
want from me?
So yeah.
Oh man, let the good times roll, huh, man? Dude, anything else for
How
your
was
week?
your? No, that about sums it up. Oh, very quickly, yes,
Yeah,
everything's an Xbox.
everything's an
Everything.
Xbox.
So I
This
was
is an
like,
this podcast is an Xbox, dude.
it's an Xbox. So I was like, what the hell? You know what? Let me see if I can play some Outlaws on my phone. And I did. And I played
How was it?
Outlaws. I was able to hook up Outlaws with my wireless Xbox controller, put it on my little tiny ass iPhone 12 screen. Looked, played great.
Ah,
Almost better than the damn computer. I was like,
got
my
it.
I was like, my it doesn't load
Got
on my
it.
PC. And this little iPhone 12, you can see the bike cruising around. You know what I mean? Outlaws probably isn't the game to play
Man,
on it just because of the stealth, but there are plenty of other games you want to do your strategy, your fighters, whatever. If you're sitting in the car, you got your iPad, you got a decent Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, man, you could blow some time on your Xbox easy. Everything's
bro,
an
these
Xbox.
these phones be so out of control. That thing's probably more powerful than your PC, dog. You know what I'm
Would not
saying?
be surprised.
Man, crazy, crazy. I'm trying to light an incense if you can see the fire a little bit.
We didn't know what you were doing. We were just
Just let
hoping it didn't involve insurance.
just let me pyromance for like a split second, Doug. I need the smell goods, Doug. So my week, man. I did not play any games this week. Wasn't that kind of week. Honestly, that's why I'm saging right now. Very stressful week, but I did watch a lot of content. Yes, sir. So I guess the first thing I want to talk about is Fallout, the TV series. I want to talk about Fallout, the TV series. I haven't talked about it here. And I can talk about this fairly spoiler free.
You can
Without
spoil,
going,
fire away. That's fine.
it's hard to spoil. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? It's hard to spoil. Uh, because this is season 2 and this is New Vegas, you know what I'm saying? It really is something to kind of see the love and dedication they're putting into this series. It's just Fallout, right? It is New Vegas. It is everything you've wanted, like live action, but you don't have the luxury of controlling the lone, the courier or the lone gunman or whoever. And what I wanted to talk about really is just how successful this show is and how it's spawning these other video game TV series. We're talking about it more in the news, but I think this is really just like the spark to where we may actually get video game content to be taken seriously. You know what I mean? Like for years, and comic books had the same problem before Blade showed up. Um, it's that it's for kids. We're not going to take it too seriously. It's either going to be a cash grab or it's going to be just goofy, fun stuff. And mind you, Fallout is goofy. Fallout is fun, but also Fallout is deadly serious, and there are stakes, and people die, and it gets crazy, right? And the show perfectly encapsulates that feeling of the whimsy of running around in the wasteland versus like the weight of that world and how jacked up it really is. Bradley says, I think video game series and started with The Last of Us. See, the problem with that, Bradley, is that The Last of Us took itself too seriously and kind of double whammied on itself because now people don't can't stand it because it got too serious and too political and people were just like, ew, this is not fun anymore. It stopped being fun, right? It started being like a chore, Whereas Fallout still gives you that kind of joy of, oh crap, she's in bullet time. Oh crap, is that a death claw? I know that character. And it just really just keeps you happy as a Fallout fan who's been following it since the olden days. Um, what they're doing with the storyline, because this does take place after the events of Fallout New Vegas, is kind of paint the picture of what storyline was the canon storyline. You know what I mean? Because depending on what faction you pick, it changes the end
Mm,
of the story.
mm.
And so it's like it seems like they're going with the house storyline, the house line. So, and what they're doing with House himself in kind of like what brought upon the initial bombing, it's all very interesting stuff, man. And how they're kind of going about teasing other major, I would say, um events of Fallout that we haven't seen yet. Um One thing I do love about Fallout, and it's very subtle, is they are very good at interjecting gameplay options as storylines. Like, crap, I would have to pick that in the game. So there's a scene where our main character Lucy is hopped up on drugs, right? She's hopped up on goofballs, as one tends to do in the wasteland. You take too many you take too many
Kim's.
buff out you take too many chems, you take too many buff outs, you're addicted now. So she has to go get you know the spray that takes away your drug addiction. The problem is that it's tripled in price. She can't buy it, but she sees an opening to sneak in and use her sneak technique, and then she has to sneak in on her hands and knees like in the game and pickpocket from the actual store, and they're doing it as a storytelling device, but as a gamer, it's like, yes, this is just Fallout, right? She gets caught. Now she's in a precarious situation. She tries to talk herself out of it. She fails the speech check. Now she has to resort to guns. It's so smart, you know, that it gives you the gaming decisions in real time, and it's a beautiful thing to see unfold, man. I am Other than that, it's like that and Percy Jackson are the two things I'm watching the most right now, and
Ah,
I'm
how's
hooked.
Percy?
Percy's awesome. Percy is awesome. If you read the books, if you even just like gods and monsters and all that, it's amazing.
The trailer for season 2 looks way better than the trailer for season 1. Can I
Yeah.
just skip season 1 and just start watching season
Yeah,
2?
you're
Is
fine.
that gonna be fine? Because
You
season
know what it
1,
is?
the high school kid, like just,
You know,
I'm damn near 50. You know what I mean? Like,
you
can
know
we
what it
just
is?
get to the point?
If someone was to tell me, Mike, I want to get into the MCU, where do I start? Start at Avengers. One, you don't have to watch Iron Man. You don't have to watch the first Avenger. You don't have to watch Thor. Just start at Iron Man. You're fine.
Yeah,
And
Avengers. Yeah.
yeah, you're good. That's my perfect analogy for Percy Jackson. You don't need to know the histories of how he started. It kind of catches you up pretty fine, and
All
then
right.
you're right in the thick of it because you know what it is. First season is establishing world, establishing character. Second season, now we get to have fun. We get to be goofy. You know what I mean? And we get to
And
really cut
tra-
loose.
the trailer looked like it had a ton of action, like set scenes in it. Looks like a ton of money went into this freaking thing. And I was like, yeah, I haven't seen it at all, but it looks like something I should probably see.
Yeah,
In
man.
fact, I would not be surprised if it's better than the damn Christopher Nolan Odysseus that's coming
That's funny you
out.
just said that because they're literally in the middle of the Odyssey right now
Excellent.
in this
Yeah.
in the show. So you may get to have a more fun time with Percy and with the squadron going, trying to figure out how to um, pass through the sea of monsters as well. So yeah, it's a high recommend for me.
Oh.
The only other thing I did this week, and it's kind of interesting, is that in preparation of figured it out tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're doing a big unboxing, a 1/6 scale unboxing. So to get in, just to spoil it here for those who are here on the MLTN episode, I've been watching two films that I've never seen back to back ever in life in mental preparation and hype for this unboxing. That is Terminator 1 and
Hmm.
Terminator 2.
What?
I never seen Terminator just through
Back to back?
back to back. Never. Just not no.
All right.
No.
You
No.
continue. After you get done with
I,
2, just
then you can
continue.
yell at me. Then you can yell at me.
No, just continue. Just finish the rest of them. It's worth it.
I know. I
They're not
trust
all
me.
necessarily good, but it's
I've
worth
seen
it. It's
I've seen
cohesive.
them all. 3,
Yeah, all right.
Salvation,
All right, all
they're
right,
all
all
pretty
right,
good.
all right.
But I've never seen one like all the way through. Like I know one. We all know one like
Oh,
the like the back of our hands. But I never sat down and watched one. And people always compare Terminator and Terminator 2 to like Alien and Aliens, like how different they are. And I didn't get it. At first, like, no, Alien and Aliens are completely different films. Like the approach is completely different. One is gothic horror, the other one's action. In watching Terminator 1, it really is gothic horror and action all over again. It's very interesting how Terminator 1 works as a horror film, as a spooky, scary film with jump scares and around that corner and just this unstoppable killing machine that is not going to he absolutely will not stop ever until you're dead, you know, and seeing how gross it is. Like there's a scene where Arnold's been shot up and he's like treating himself as the T-800 and his meat is starting to smell and you get to see like all of this bugs and maggots start coming out of his living tissue under endoskeleton and somebody walks by the room and is like, man, you got a dead cat in there, man, like what is going on in there? Like, yeah, I never thought of it that way. Like, yeah, it probably would be gross if it doesn't heal, right? It's supposed to be living tissue, but it's not healing because he's been shot up to crap. You know what I mean? And like seeing it from that point of view and seeing Sarah Connor in the 80s with Kyle Reese, it was very eye-opening to see like the juxtaposition between this unstoppable killing machine and it added context to T2 to why Sarah Connor was so freaked out and hot and institutionalized because of this experience. It's crazy.
bro, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not effing around in that
He's
movie.
not your friend.
No, in part one, he is
Oh
he
my
is he
goodness.
is not in any
It's a
other
trip.
way anything but out to kill you. That's it. And that is what makes the Terminator and AI and where we are in life just so interesting and scary. Because technically that is possible at this stage. And it's like, wait, what? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And then when to look at T2, liquid nitrogen, and it's like, we can't even
Right.
like destroy it anymore. It just forms
We
around
can't
what it
just shoot
needs
it.
to. Like,
Yeah, we
but
can't shoot it anymore.
again, we talk about it. This thing where we're not superheroes. We are ordinary humans having to fight
This abnormal
forces of
situation.
nature. So, yeah, so good for you, man. Good for you on that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for
It was
you.
just I was just like, man, I never saw I sat there and thought, I was like, I've never seen T1. Like never seen it and like watched it through and I was just like, man, just do it. Let's just do it. And I do not um what's the word I'm looking for? Regret it. And it kind of added context to 2 and like just how terrifying Arnold was in that role. I'll be back and all that fun stuff, you know? So, yeah, that was pretty much my week, which is a lot of Percy Jackson, a lot of Fallout, and definitely a lot of Terminator. Because tomorrow night, that unboxing up video is going to go crazy. Be be there or be square. That's all I'm saying.
I forgot to mention one last thing with my week, and I
Let's
wanted to
go.
get you Batman, No Man's Land. You familiar?
The book, yeah. The comic,
Yeah, yeah. I've
yeah.
been reading. I've been listening to the audiobook. It's like a
Fun,
ten
fun,
hour
fun.
audiobook. I'm about 4 hours in. This thing's friggin' awesome. So
Yeah.
if you like Batman, you like Gotham, cut off from everybody else and all hell breaking loose. Go for it.
You know what I was thinking about this, and thank you for mentioning this. I want to talk about this really quick. Actually, you know what, Bradley? I did watch Terminator Zero on Netflix, the Japanese anime
No,
Terminator. Dope, super dope, super dope. I was
cool.
thinking, Wash, help me out. You know, what is the lore of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Not the origin, but the lore. I can't figure it out because it
Well, the
changes so much.
the
I don't
lore would
know
be
like a
the
T2 timeline, like a TMNT timeline. I can't think of one like a like a canon one.
Yeah, whatever his name is before he comes Splinter, he's a martial artist, boss turtles, right? We know the origin of the turtles, but
Yeah.
that is the timeline. So it starts with him being in martial arts. I don't know what happens before any of that, but it picks up when they become turtles. Apparently, that's when his life got interesting.
But you, but you know what? I'm thinking about it along the lines of, let's say, Batman, for that matter.
Hmm.
There's certain events that happen in Batman's history that lead up to current Batman. There's the origins of Batman. Let's say there's Death of the Family, where where Jason Todd was killed by the Joker. There is
I
No
don't think
Man's
the
Land, where
turtles
Gotham got
do that
destroyed.
though,
No,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the turtles are there. They fight They fight Shredder. I realize there's like five Shredders, dude, like throughout history. Like there's the original Orokusaki, who apparently just died. There was a second Shredder that was a mutant. There was like a Crane Shredder and was like a Otom or something like that. There's another Shredder. Like there's a timeline where the turtles are there's a fifth turtle that's a girl that was made, and not to mention the Last Ronin, which is the biggest turtle timeline right now. So I'm like, I don't think there is a clear Turtles timeline of like read like if I was to say read these four Spider-Man books to catch up on Spider-Man. Read Death of
Hmm.
Gwen Stacy, read the Clone Saga, read Brand New Day, read Superior Spider-Man. You'll be pretty much know where Spider-Man's been for the last 60 years, right? It doesn't exist for the Turtles, I don't think. There
No.
is no timeline. And I was sitting there scratching my brain like they've never just sat down and said this is the Turtles, like in any of its history. I can't think of it. Even the old original Turtles, like the Lord and the Black and Whites, those didn't last long. Those,
Well, I guess whatever the one is where they found the fifth turtle, their sister,
yeah,
is
the one with
it?
the yellow band. Yeah, the one with the yellow
Yeah,
band.
so I guess that is canon. That's one of those premiere episodes where something in the world has changed and it is now forever,
It's weird because
five
there's some
turtles. But they haven't done the Death of Splinter episode that I am
yeah,
aware of.
and
You
it's
know
like
what I mean?
there's some timelines where Donatello dies, right? And now they have to move forward. There's some timelines where they all die, but Mikey. There's some timelines where it gets weird, and I was just sitting there like, there is no straight through line for TMNT. At one of the most popular franchises of all time is very incoherent, and I couldn't tell you where to start. S- Start now. Start with the Mutant Mayhem, I guess. Start
I
now.
mean, I was gonna say 1994 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is where I'm gonna start, but you
I
guys
don't.
do whatever you think is best.
I don't know, man. I was just thinking about that. It
I
was
like it.
irritating me because I couldn't like think of a straight through line for those guys.
After a little
Uh,
more one, I may ask AI. Go
I
on.
may ask AI. Speaking of things that look like they were decided by AI, we have our first look at Sophie Turner as Laura Croft in Amazon's Tomb Raider TV series. I brought this up because we were just talking about Laura Croft,
We were.
you know, and about like her power stance and what can she do. Excuse me, Wash. Um, knowing, and I was just talking about like Fallout and how Amazon is really showing kid gloves with that series and really paying it and really letting the game developers have say in this series. And I'm seeing things even in this write up that kind of worries me. Do you think that we should expect this new renaissance of taking seriously gaming TV series, or is Fallout a fluke?
I think Fallout may be a fluke. That's my take on it because even though I like Fallout and I haven't seen season two for everyone in chat, I haven't anyway. We won't go there, but I didn't I like season one, but it's not like it was my favorite thing ever. So I do think that they care about Fallout the same way Nintendo cared about Super Mario Brothers.
Mhm.
Will whomever making this Tomb Raider series, if Amazon, I don't know who's the writer and the director is
I
behind
don't
this
either,
project
honestly. Yeah.
necessarily. I don't know if is it Crystal Dynamics. I don't know if Crystal Dynamics is part of this project either. Um, when we talk about Splinter Cell, guess what? When it comes on, it says Ubisoft Netflix, and it's like you want to see those words. Otherwise, it's kind of like, what are we dealing with here? Sophie Turner as Laura Croft. I I have high hopes. I have
Eh,
high hopes. I have
fine,
no
dog.
idea what I'm going to get, but I
I
do
don't.
have high hopes. This write up, mysterious, high flying woman who is keen to. Oh, a new character. Not okay. Never mind. So yeah, I don't really. We don't have any plot details, any storylines, anything like that happening currently. So, um, Netflix animated Tomb Raider, Bradley, it took itself a tad bit too seriously, and for some reason they made Laura Croft like she could fight Galactus without really explaining any of that to any of us. And so as a fan, I was just kind of like, okay, but Splinter Cell is a tad better just off the go. I finished Laura Croft. I hope this is better than what Netflix did with it. That's for certain. But like I said, season two, when Netflix looks like it does, it may have some hopes. Haven't got there yet though.
Yeah, man. Netflix really soured me on their gaming stuff after Devil May Cry. I kind of have zero faith in any of that stuff because Devil May Cry was so whack. But and it may be good. I don't know, right? I just have to see it and find out. But Sophie Turner as Tomb Raider, I mean, it's not hard to look the part. You know what I'm saying? Just look like the character. She looks like OG 90s Tomb Raider. She
Yeah,
doesn't
she
look
could
like
also be going to Burning Man.
she also could be going to Burning Man. She also could be about to pick up, a pack of Newports. That being said, I mean, Laura Croft is one of those characters where is this going to be the weird feral Laura Croft that like bites the throat out of elk and shoots like a bow and arrow, or is this going to be the too cool for school, James Bond Laura Croft who does backflips and kicks dinosaurs? I don't know what to get from this character.
I'm kind of
I don't
hoping the
know.
latter. That's what I'm hoping. The Netflix one is neither of it. The Netflix one is
Apparently, she has the power cosmic or something, right?
she's Bruce Wayne.
The fuck?
She's just kind of moody and depressed and, you know, no, I can kill gods. Oh,
Okay.
all right, Laura.
Okay.
And then there's some dude with a restaurant, but Laura, I just want to test the new suit.
What do Laura Croft doesn't wear suits, dog? She
No,
wears a
no,
tank
no,
top.
it's soup
Oh, the
because
new
he has
suit.
a restaurant.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
and he's, you know, dragged along with her on her adventures.
If you tell me that they gave Laura Croft an Iron Man armor, I'm gonna have to check this out tonight. Dog. What are they doing? What's going on over there? That's kind of dumb. You almost had me, dog. I was about to watch that
No,
stupid stuff,
no,
dog.
no.
But nah,
No.
like you said, I'd prefer the larger than life, almost Angelina Jolie take on Laura Croft, where she's fighting against the forces of nature and the forces of supernatural events, and she has the tablet of time, she has the dagger of truth, and she's fighting T Rexes inside the jungle. That would be fun and different and weird. Um, Bradley says Death Battle Laura Croft versus Indiana Jones. Who y'all got and why? Easy peasy. I give it to Laura versus Indiana Jones because I love Indiana Jones. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. But Indiana Jones, much like the um Skeleton Crew kids from Star Wars, Indiana Jones fails upward, right? Indiana Jones bumbles his way to victory. He's not a trained killer like Laura Croft is with the dual guns and all types of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? She's done some wild stuff in the games, bro. She has like Wolverine scent vision and stuff. Indy's just like, he's an archaeologist, man, with a whip. Dog. I don't. Laura Croft would eat his lunch, in my opinion.
Bradley, I will just say I appreciate your question because ever since I watched the Netflix show, literally all week I've just been asking, can Laura Croft beat this? Like
Yeah.
whenever I see anything,
Yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
like,
That Laura Croft can't.
is it Laura Croft? Can she beat
That
this
Laura.
or no?
I gotta watch this show, man. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude.
If she shoots
So
an Omega beam, I'm out, dog. If she does a Hyper Viper beam, I'm out, dog. That's all I'm saying. Jeez Louise. Let's move on to the next topic here. This is hilarious. Game of Thrones writer J.R.R. Martin says, if there is no plan, if he dies before he finishes The Winds of Winter, for anybody to touch his work, it's just not going to be finished if he passes away. Wash, my question for you is that if you're creative and you know you just don't have it in you anymore, I ain't got it, dog. Y'all keep asking me for it. I ain't got it. What's more respectful? To drag it out until you pass away, like, oh man, we never got it. What a genius. Or just to flat out say, you know what, guys, don't look for this. I'm gonna be an old man. Go lay down somewhere. I ain't got it in me. What's more respectable?
At this stage, I'd say, yeah, I'm just not gonna finish it, bro. I'm
Just
just not
be
gonna finish
honest.
it.
Just be honest.
There's a
Like
chance that I wake up in the middle of the night and I get this thing done, but you know, I
the
wouldn't
guy
bet
is
on it.
the guy's got to be pushing 70, 80 years old. He's felt so much pressure about this thing for decades at this point because he hasn't finished it in decades.
And and actually that becomes the question is why is this not finished at this
Just
stage?
doesn't.
Because it's not like this is a 5-year deal. This when did Game of Thrones end now? Like almost a decade ago at this
Yeah,
freaking
just
stage.
about.
They've made like 3 of them since. So and he's involved with all of those projects. So while you're involved with all the projects, you're being creative, you're giving all the ideas to all the HBO people, why are you not in the room finishing the book? I are you a fan? Do you know anything about the Eye of the World and Robert Jordan? Any of my fantasy book fans out
I
there?
know
Eye of the
of it,
World,
never read it. I know of it, never. Is that like that Will to Time stuff or no? Am I
the
thinking
Wheel of
something different?
Time, yes.
There you go.
Wheel of Time, yes. So
Yeah.
it is a 16, 18. I don't know how many books this thing is. It is long. And for the longest time, it was not going to get done. Author managed to squeak them out. I stopped after like book 7 back in 2003. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I've
man.
been out a long time.
Tap
But
out.
to my point, it's like as a creative, do you just not know how it ends? Are
Yeah,
you
like
holding on to it? Do you need help? Like, what is the hold up? Because if you know how it ends, you can get someone to come in. Yeah, I'm just
and
going to
help
tell you
you.
this. Yeah,
Just tell me
right.
just help somebody fill in the gaps. Someone you trust, right? Um
So
it's t- yeah.
in that, let me ask you, in that vein, if you just don't know how it ends, you've written Star Wars, right? You Ray picks up the lightsaber,
I'm
the camera
Skywalker now.
pans, I'm Skywalker now, and you now have to write episode 10.
What do you do? That's the weight, right? That's the super weight. But here's the thing is different because G- George has been in charge of this thing since he started it. There is no other cooks in the kitchen but him. He's not being handed a he's not being handed a dirty kitchen saying, "Hey, you got to clean this up and you got to cook a fantastic meal." No, you dirtied the dishes yourself, bro. You went in there, you this has all been you and it's been exclusively you. So finish what you started. What if he just like, I ain't got it, man. And but also, I don't want y'all touching my stuff either.
And you
So
let people build off of your material stuff that isn't necessarily directly tied to your book, which
yeah,
makes the lore a little bit choppy. I know Game of Thrones fans, both book and TV, like fans, and both sides of these people are not happy. Both sides are like, yeah, man, finish the book. Yeah, man, these projects, what
I
are
have a
we doing?
question.
Hmm.
Do you think it's a motivation thing? Because I don't think he's happy with how HBO handled his his world in those last seasons of Game of Thrones. And under his watch, it was going great. Everybody loved Game of Thrones. Everything was good. You left it to the hands of the directors and left it to the hands of the decision makers, and they scorched the earth. Nobody's into Game of Thrones anymore. It's been known as a flop. Maybe he just has to have it in his heart to be like, they ruined my baby, dude. I don't know what to do now. I don't know how to fix this. Maybe he's just like, I don't, and he's just like analysis paralysis. I don't know how to, like you said, I don't know how to go forward after. My last name is Skywalker now. What do I do? I don't know. You tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Every night, he's like, is it this or is it this or
And he's probably
it's all.
second guessing himself.
You
Nah,
know,
that's
he
dumb.
doesn't.
No,
Yeah,
that's dumb.
no.
It's tough. But I respect him
Um,
saying, "Yeah, don't touch my stuff after I'm gone. If I don't do it, it's just not done.
yeah,
Y'all just gonna have to deal with it, and I'll
better
just
than
be it."
letting AI write it. You know what I mean? Nah, just give it to Chat GPT. Let them
That's I
finish
don't,
it.
you don't think
What?
he's thought about that like at least once? This dude said he's just putting the chat GPT. So a future Stark comes in through a portal in chat GPT. I need a 700, I need a
Yeah,
2,000 word book about this dumbass idea. Take it away. But yeah, it's like if it's your baby and you just don't have it in you, just say you ain't got it in you, man. Well,
yeah.
we'll respect it. People will hate you forever, but we'll
Or
respect it.
Or like he's talking one book, maybe two books. Like they don't even he doesn't even know if this is the last book. So
That's
it's like
another thing.
if you don't even know if it's the last book, how about we do this? How about you just take your two or three book idea, right? And you just put them into this one short story. You wrap
Call it.
this thing up and you call it,
Call it.
and that's it. That's
You
it.
don't know if this is even the last book in his brain. That's the terrifying
Yeah,
part.
dude.
Because he,
Yeah,
he may got 6 other books after this one. He's like, man, he's looking at the watch like, bro, my
that's
birthday's
fucking
in
great.
April. I'm turning 84.
Jerry
I
Jones said last 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that he wants to win the most Super Bowls in
you
NFL
better get
history.
well, Jerry. I'm
Stephen A.
sorry.
Smith literally went on national television the next morning and said,
You are
"Man,
smoking crack.
you are 80 something years old. You have three, which means you would have to win three and get to another four. You don't have the time.
You
If
ain't
he
got the
has
time,
six
bro.
books, he doesn't have the time, man. He doesn't
You
have
ain't
the
got no
time.
damn time. Get it, get it together, Grim. Get it
Yeah.
together, Doug. Speaking of getting things a little too together, I want to talk about this because this is very interesting. So, Marvel Rivals, Overwatch meets the Marvel Universe, 3v3 battles where you get to pick and choose your roles. There's healer, there's tanks, there's DPS, right? And every character is a role. Hulk is a tank, right? Uh, Invisible Girl is a healer. Makes sense. But for the first time ever, Deadpool has been announced that you are able to be all three roles in one character. So you have to master Deadpool not only as a tank, master him also as DPS, and master him also as healing. And the funky part is that you can switch this in game. So you're not locked to a role, when you start the game. You can just shift into it mid game and throw off the opposition. Wash, do you think this is the future for these types of games that you're going to be giving a character with multiple, like we talked about it before, skill trees that you have to master? Or do you think this is overkill?
Um, in reference to your question, I would say yes, this would be the future because, the general 4-on-4, 6-on-6 gameplay, no matter what you want to throw it across, guns, animation, like, Powerball, like whatever, right? It's
Hmm.
pretty it's been done for a long time now. So how do we keep this fresh and interesting? Oh, well, if we give everybody access to three, you know what? That makes things batshit crazy and anything can happen at any time. Kind of takes away from the specialization of it, but I'm sure when you get to those competitive levels, you still have those people that are specializing in your tanks and whatnot. But you're also going to have your teams that are specializing in, you know, three or four Deadpools. I guess my question to this whole thing is twofold. One, I see the trailers, I see the ads. They spend a lot of money on this
A
game. Is
lot
this
of
game
money.
popular?
I believe it is. I
Okay.
think it's making crazy money in the background somewhere.
I
The
don't really
skins
see anyone
alone.
playing it. Okay.
No, it's kind of a dead game, like in that sense. But it's like Pokemon. It's like Pokemon Pocket, right? It's like the game may not be on the front page, but that thing is bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars a week, type thing.
All right. The second thing is why Deadpool? Why is he the first? What we have a series coming up. We keep promising it,
Well,
folks. I promise it's coming. Why
Why
is
is here's the
what
thing.
what
I got your why
why?
is because Deadpool is a popular character. He's one of the few Marvel characters that had their own trilogy, which is huge because not a lot of characters get to be in that pantheon of Tony Stark, of Captain America. Crap, Hulk doesn't even have a trilogy, but Deadpool does. Secondly, Deadpool is one of the only characters that can break the fourth wall. He is omnipotent in that weird way. He talks to us. So it makes sense that he is malleable as he is deadly. So if Deadpool wants to be a tank, I guess he could be a tank because he knows what a tank is. He knows he's in the video game. So he's not locked to the normalcies of reality that other characters are. They don't know. He knows. And lastly, his you would think his kit is not so insane that he would be able to balance all three roles. He doesn't have a lot of superpowers. He's, you know, katana rama, gun shoot shoot bang bang guy. So it's like, how do you spread that up against three different play styles? This kind of goes back to our Insomniac's Wolverine question. How do you make Stabby Stabby Man interesting
I
for
was
17
just thinking
hours?
that.
So it's like, how do you make this character interesting for, let's say, hundreds of hours? If you're a Deadpool specialist, you let him do whatever he wants. He's a tank, changes his gameplay. He's a healer, he throws you chimichangas or something. I don't know how he plays. I ain't played it yet. So I guess there's flexibility for this character, and I think that's the why is Deadpool all threes, because he's cool, and it would be him to be able to break the rules of the game.
I did not play that Deadpool game that came out, Bradley.
I
But
played it
two
a little
questions
bit.
for Mike. You
Yeah,
did? Okay.
it was good.
Is Deadpool going to bring you to Marvel Heroes? Are you going to jump into Marvel Heroes to play
No,
Deadpool?
no, not at all. I have no desire to. I had my Overwatch part of my life where I was just in it. I was gross. My eyes were bagged over, Cheetos on my face, Overwatch life. I don't need that again in my 40s, Doug. That's for the kids. Like,
I mean,
there's no character outside of damn Batman to show up in this game for me to be like, oh shit. It would literally take the Dark Knight showing up in a Marvel game for me to pick up this controller again. I just don't have the interest and I don't have the time. You know, that's the saddest part. I can't play fighting games anymore.
oh man.
I just
Well,
don't
you
have the
can.
time. I
I
can, but
mean,
I'll suck.
anything's an Xbox. So, if you're sitting in
I
line
I
and it's your Taco Bell, it's like, play a little
like
Xbox.
Bradley will tell you. I hold myself to a certain standard when it comes to fighting games, and like I don't like to be garbage, Doug. And if I know I can't dedicate the time to be at least proficient, then I'm can't do it, Doug. Maybe
Last
my son.
question.
Yes,
Laura Croft versus Deadpool.
probably Laura Croft, man. Deadpool
I didn't
can't
see
die,
that
but
coming.
no, you don't understand. Laura Croft is up there with John Wick, Doug. Where it's just like it's not many beings on Earth that can stop John Wick when he's focused, Doug. But no, all jokes aside, Deadpool, man, he can't die. You shoot the guy in his face, it just heals and stuff, Doug. But yeah, apparently your Laura Croft can bend time space. I gotta watch this series. That shit sounds dumb. I can't wait. Speaking of things that sound completely stupid, there was a countdown going on for the Fallout universe, and apparently that countdown led to the announcement of a reality competition TV series where contestants will live together inside a vault. Wash, being a Fallout fan and knowing the ramifications of vaults, we did a MOTN lore on vaults. Watch it; it's great,
It is.
and how disturbing vaults are. Is this kind of secretly a psych op to get people comfortable with social engineering, or am I overthinking this?
I don't think you're overthinking this at all, and I think Mr. Beast is behind this. So I don't necessarily agree that it's
Ugh.
going to be the safest, best production, but I'm assuming that it will probably make some money of some type, and some people
Ultimate.
will be interested in it. Um, Did you ever watch? I told you to watch Expedition Unknown Robin Hood. Did you watch that by
I
any
didn't get a
chance?
chance to catch it. Just full
Watch that,
transparency.
but go ahead, watch that. But there's an Expedition Unknown Expedition X Unknown that they just did on the Rock of Gibraltar not too long ago. And when you see the Rock of Gibraltar, inside is completely tunneled out and it can fit 16,000 men for a very long time, right? And it gets you thinking when you look at the mountains, when you're driving through Utah or whatever the case may be,
Yeah,
what the hell's in there? At least that's what I think.
it could easily have been hollowed out. You know what I'm saying?
I I I believe that we live in a world where if there is a very real possibility that someone be like, yeah, I made a vault community. Would you like to go live in it? And there are
Mm.
people that are going to be like, yeah, let's go do that. So this game show, not probably too far off from real life?
Did
Question
you
mark.
watch Paradise at all? That show
No,
Paradise about the end of the world and people living inside of a mountain,
no.
and it's like the world is covered in atomic ash and they live in this perfect world, but they don't know. You know, they live in this perfect like perfect universe, but outside it's like death and famine and stuff like that. Things This show upsets me because it kind of spits in the face of the whole point of Fallout. Like the vaults are the way they are for a reason, right? It's a social experiment. They say it multiple times. Every vault was an experiment to see how you could push the human psyche, to see how you could push the human body. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of makes fun of it. It's like making a cartoon about Rambo. You know what I mean? You just miss the point of the content. You know, Rambo is a PTSD ridden war hero that came back to a world that wasn't his. He doesn't need action figures. You know what I'm saying? It's like to make a social to make a reality show based upon the content that is like, yeah, we don't care about these humans in here and we're just going to do whatever we want to them and we have all the time in the world. It's scary because it sets a precedent for what they're seeing we can tolerate. Mike Prime, what's going on, sir? You came in here me ranting because this pisses me off. You came in at the crazy time, Mike Prime. That I hate this idea. It spits in the face of Fallout. It's like it's too goofy. Like this jumps the shark for me.
I felt the same way when we started getting the real life Squid Game like
Yeah,
reproduction things.
you're
It's
missing the
like,
point.
what are we, guys? Did you not literally just watch the movie? Do you not get it? No, we're doing this in real life, and it's like, y- we haven't got to the Hunger Games section yet, but give it time. Sooner or later, maybe we get Smash TV. I have absolutely no idea. And for my Super Nintendo folks out there, Smash TV, you know it. Dope
What you know
game,
about Smash TV, dog? I'll body you in Smash TV,
bro, dude. Like, let's
bitch.
go,
I'll
let's
body you in
go,
that shit,
let's
bro. You
go,
not
let's
ready, bro?
go,
What is happening, dog? God damn.
let's
MOT
go.
MOTM plays 2026. Y'all
Yes.
not ready, dog. I'm moving on from this topic because it upsets me. If that's okay, I'm just gonna move on from this shit. No, talk about upsetting content.
I don't even know. I saw this in the lineup.
This
I'm
is
like,
so
all
fucking crazy.
right.
So Roblox players say that AI age checks are killing chat and erasing memories. Roblox began rolling out a new age verification requirements for chat access globally this week, following the limited launch of select regions late last year. Long story, not so long. Roblox has been a haven for kind of like child predator activities for many, 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 many years. People go on there, hey, my name is Dr. Jake. Dr. Jake wants to give you some Robux. Kid, come here. This is my ice cream sandwich factory. You know what I mean? And it's like, it wasn't policed at all, right? For years, and people are like, yeah, you should probably not let your kids play Roblox, bro. Like, there's some legit predators who are just on there going crazy. They're now implementing AI age checks and checking these chats because they got so much blowback from the government, from the state, from parents, from lawsuits. In the pervos are like, nah, man, this is gatekeeping our memories, man. You guys should let us keep doing it. Like apropos, like so brazen. Like, Wash, we don't have kids, right?
No.
We don't have, this is something we don't really have to worry about. But in a hypothetical, if you if you were aware that something like this was going on in your children's gaming interface, their tablet, how fast would it be that you just forbade them forever touching this again?
There's no Roblox. There's no
There's
Roblox.
no Roblox, right?
There's no Roblox. No.
There's no Roblox ever,
Uh,
right?
you can play Smash TV.
Right. You want to
Like
play
you
some
can
Smash
play
TV?
that.
Want to play some Link Before Time?
Yeah, there's gonna be
Sure.
no Roblox, man. And generally speaking, if your child is doing something and you need AI face verification for it, your child should
Red
not
flag.
be doing it. So
Red flag.
that is just a tip.
It's crazy. It's like,
That's all I
uh,
got for you.
you know what? It reminds me of what remember the cable guy with Jim Carrey, and his main
Oh
thing
yeah.
was to destroy cable TV because it was rotting the brains of children. Someone's got to kill the babysitter. You know what I'm saying, right? I think about kids nowadays who are just kind of raised by their tablets, just so they're quiet and sitting down somewhere, and saving the nerves of millions of parents across America. And the parents don't really engage with what their children are doing as long as they're quiet. And it's like, my kid is over there playing Roblox. Do you know what Roblox is? I have no idea. I give him $10 for it a week. That's all he asks for. As long as he's quiet, I don't care. And your child is interfacing with monsters. Your child is interfacing with predators. You have no idea until your kid just doesn't come home from one day after school because they're meeting up with Captain Bob at the Dairy Queen. And now you're wondering where little Jacob's at. It gets wild, bro. The Roblox stories I've heard are terrifying.
I don't know any, but
Uh,
I hate
you
to
know,
see what the Reddit page looks
it's
like.
fascinating because it's like people are just letting their kids do this shit. And it's like for years, there was no real regulation of it. And these guys just ran amok. And because of the world we live in now, everybody's emboldened to speak their piece, even the disgusting humans. So it's crazy to see that, like you said, it's gone. Like you said, if your game requires AI checks and age restrictions and things like that, maybe your kid shouldn't be playing this game. You
You
know what I'm
shouldn't be
saying?
playing it either, to be
Maybe
frankly
you shouldn't
honest
be
with
playing it either.
you. So yeah,
I just want to bring this up. I just want to bring awareness to it because there may be some parent who watches this in the future. Future parent, don't let your kids be active in your kids' lives. That's all I'm saying. Play games with your kids so that you know, oh, this shit is gross. We're getting it off your tablet today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you have Timu? I probably wouldn't download Timu onto your kid's tablet. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Just like, which is like a weird, purchasing site that is just malware and spyware and all types of crazy stuff. But yeah, just be active in your kids' lives, please, people, just so that we can alleviate these kinds of horrible nightmare scenarios for our little ones, man. Uh, lastly, last but not least, just kind of like kind of like some mouthwash to wash out those weird content. Just the world's sick, sad world is all I'll say. Speaking of something that's sick, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, a young daughter journalist disappears in the deserts without a trace, and now they're the mummy. Wash, one, what did you think of this trailer? And two, like you said, would you be open to a new dark universe?
no, on the latter, like let's not. Let's just make a movie. Making the Mummy. Okay. As far as this trailer goes, I thought it was an interesting trailer. I thought that it didn't make a lot of sense at the end. I was So is she coming back live after she's been dead? Because it very much starts out as something that you think may be like supernatural, but it quickly turns into something that looks like true crime type of movie. That where it comes in, Seven is the vibe I got from it, like
Yeah,
that Seven vibe. And then at the end, you get that shot, and I'm like, so is she alive? Or is this a horror movie? So I'm not sure what it is. I
there's
don't
been
know
a,
if it knows what it is.
It's funny. I was thinking about this as I was putting this on the docket, like the pantheon of Universal movie monsters and where the Mummy falls. On that pantheon, your Invisible Man's, your Dracula's, and he's kind of right above the Loch Ness monster. You know what I mean? I think it goes like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, maybe Bride of Dracula, Mummy,
Yeah,
Creature of the Black Lagoon. That would be my
yeah.
tier list. So when I think of the Mummy, I think of the pedigree of that title. I think of Brendan Fraser. I think of Goofy Adventures and O'Connell. But this doesn't look goofy at all. This just looks very serious and, like you said, a mix of true crime and like just kind of your standard A24 fare now, where it's quick shots and I don't know what I'm looking at and black pyramids and all that crazy stuff. Watching this trailer, I didn't expect to see what I saw. I was very taken aback by it. Just because, like you said, it's a lot of randomness, and I don't know what it is. Like, does this take place in modern day? Does this take place uh in most mummy movies are like period pieces back in the day. It's just a it's did someone make a modern mummy?
This
That's
does
curious
not look, yeah, and I guess that would be a great way to phrase it because this does not look like a traditional mummy movie
at
in
all.
any sense, which is why when you mentioned part of the monster universe, I was like, wait, what? No, this? I mean, maybe you might be able to put it in there with the Invisible Man with Johnny. Was that Johnny Depp? Who? No, who did the new Invisible Man movie?
It was
Kevin
good
Bacon.
though.
Kevin
No, that
Bacon. Yeah,
you're thinking of that's no. You're thinking of not that's the horrible one, Doug, where you
that's the
see like a
bad one.
what was his name? Oh, damn, I love that movie. Hollow Man, Doug. You're thinking of
Hollow
Hollow
Man,
Man.
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
that movie's gross. I'm thinking of the one that just came out where it's based on technology and the dude made an invisible man suit that he framed his wife for murder and all types because he was trying to control her, which is super good movie. Um, and I think about that new horrible Wolfman movie where it was like some kind of weird allegory
Oh
for
yeah.
terminal illness and all. So I think they're trying to ground these monsters in modern day, which is tough because these things are timeless. So, but I applaud the effort. I applaud the effort to try to modernize these old intellectual properties, bro.
If we're gonna do that though, I'd much prefer to see a modern version where, like, we got some scientists in Antarctica, and all of a sudden, they came across a virus, it infected someone, they became the mummy. That, at least to me, seems a tad bit more grounded in the actual. We talk about this, Mike, all the time, or you do in comics. Like, you don't need to remake the mummy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there are decades worth of like lore there for you to just use and make. Like,
yeah,
you
just
don't
use
have
and
to
make.
be like, nah, man, the mummy is a clown now.
the
What?
hun- the mummy is this Dodge Stratus.
Yeah, like what? Like,
What?
no,
Why?
no, we
It
don't need it.
is
So
Imhotep. Yeah, I don't know.
the more we're talking about it, the more this actually feels like something like that as compared to the actual mummy. Now that we're talking about it, very much feels like
and I
someone's take on the mummy, or
and
they
I
got to
kind of
use the name. I hate name.
hey, guess what? It's what is it? Public domain. Anybody can make a mummy movie. Uh,
Bruce Lee thing, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like hit Agent 47. Here goes Bruce Lee, and it's like, oh, the mummy. You go to the movie, it's like, oh, that wasn't about the mummy. No, it's about a dead chick.
I kind
Oh,
of vibe with the idea of a like if someone tried to make a mummy now, like what the fuck is that? Like I kind
yeah.
of vibe with that. Like, what if someone was buried in the 70s? It is like an Afro mummy, but they're mummified at this point because it's been like 50, 60 years. And now it's a guy who died in the 70s is now like a mummy. And he's like talking like jive turkey and stupid stuff like that. No, but all jokes aside, like I like the idea of a modern mummy. Like, what is that, right? It's not going to be the old ways, right? It's going to be modern takes. Is there technology involved? It looks like it. Homegirl's taking pictures and stuff like that, so it looked pretty modern. It's going to have powers. Can it do stuff? Can it float? Can it summon locusts and plagues and do the long mouth thing like Imhotep and Anaxunamun? Doug? I don't know. We'll
And
see, I
now that you
guess.
mention it, I just want to shout out the Scorpion Queen, the Scorpion King, and the Mummy with the Rock. Really good
Goated,
movies.
man. Those are goated
Really
movies,
good
dude.
movies. Yeah.
Even the Jet Li one was not that bad. The last
Yeah.
Mummy
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty good too.
no,
Yeah. All
all
right.
right.
All right.
They're pretty all
Yeah.
right, right? Don't
Yeah.
sleep on the mummies. That is a weekend. Mummy,
Yeah.
Mummy Returns, Scorpion King, Mummy, whatever with Jet Li. Yeah, that's goaded. That's like 4 beers and some wings right there, dog. You locked in.
Four. Four. I'm from
4 beers.
Wisconsin.
I'm not alcoholic, dog. 4 is enough for Mike G, dog. I
I'm from
can't do it.
Wisconsin.
I
Sorry.
feel you, man. We built different, bro. I understand. I'm not, we just built different. Speaking of things that are built different, we have hit the end of episode 149 of the Masters of Nerdiverse podcast, Social Engineering Fallout Style. Now, Wash, my favorite part of the show. We're circling back to these 4 topics. Wash, out of these 4 topics, which one did you enjoy talking about the most at the end of all things?
I think Tomb Raider. I
Yeah,
think.
right. Yeah, right.
I think Tomb
Weird,
Raider. Yeah. Yeah. Laura Croft
weirdly enough.
wins.
Laura Croft wins.
She wins. See.
Fatality. Dog. You don't play with her. Apparently, she has the power of the Kamidogu or some shit. I don't know, dog. She can summon like shadow cells of herself. I
I
gotta watch the
wanted to.
series.
I want to tell you to watch it, but dude, I honestly I can't.
I'm
It's
so
not.
fascinated. I'm so
It's
fascinated.
it
It
just
sounds
takes
dumb.
itself so seriously that it's
Uh,
kind of dull and just boring, and you're like,
so
what the hell are we doing?
when you say she could fight Galactus,
Yeah,
she could
I
fight
didn't make the
Galactus.
I didn't make the rules. Like, watch, fine, watch it. You're gonna watch the first 4 episodes, and you'll be like, all right. And then you watch the last 4 episodes, and you're gonna go, huh,
Okay.
all right,
Bradley's saying it's mid. You're saying it's mid. I'll
all
let
right.
it go. It's just a dumb concept. Out of all the characters in the world, why does
Like,
she get the glow? I'll let it go because I tend to hold things to a little too tightly. That being said, Wash, do you have any final thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
no, I do not. Have yourselves a nice long weekend. MLK was like
Day.
MLJ, MLK weekend. So go out there and do something.
raise your hands if you're getting that day off. I'm not. If you like this content, please like the content. We need all the likes we can get to grow this channel. This is a big sports weekend. Watch yourself some football. My Broncos are playing the Bills, and I'm scared to damn death. I don't know if we're gonna
Go
make it out that
Bears!
game. The Bears.
Go
Uh,
Bears! Oh man, we got a Yeah, we get Broncos Bears in the Super Bowl. We're definitely gonna have to
oh,
have some type
I'm
of
about to
stream.
fly out to you, bro.
Oh
I'm
damn,
flying
it's gonna
out.
be a
If we
party,
get
bro.
Broncos Bears in the Super Bowl, I will do
Party.
some PTO. I'm headed down. You're gonna buy me a drink in
Shit.
Wisconsin, dog. I'm coming to you, dog. The goddamn. Comment on this stream. Let us know if you like the content. Let us know if you hate it. We need all of the information. And subscribe so that you're made aware when new live information comes live on the channel. I've, of course, been Master of the Nerdiverse Mike G. He's been the Master of the Nerdiverse Wash. We are the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. With that, I will say MOTN out. Have fun this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.